Happy Monday, Flosstube. And hello, crafty friends. What a week it's been. And what a time it continues to be. You're probably going to notice that today is going to be a short video. I've been playing around with the idea of maybe doing daily videos. I'm not sure I can do every day, but it would be nice if we all had a little bit of something to look forward to. And for me, I love making videos. They distract me. They make me feel happy when I am connected, chatting with my crafty friends, reading your comments, communicating with you on the Facebook group brings me a lot of joy. And I can't think of a better way to have a bright spot in my day and hopefully a little bright spot in your day. My name is Caroline. If you're new here, welcome to my channel, Off the Grid Needlearts. I think instead of calling this a Flosstube episode, I'm just gonna call it a daily crafty chat or something like that. I'll come up with something and I'll put the label on. So what I'm gonna do is, normally on Mondays, I would do a regular episode where I would have lots of different things to talk about, and in my usual manner would expand upon those things and talk and talk and talk. So what I'm going to do, I think, is save and spread out the things that I've got to share with you today. My family, my kids are home now with me here, as I'm sure many of you have your kids home with you. This is an ever-evolving, anxiety-provoking situation that we all find ourselves in. The world seems like a very small place at the moment, and we're all in this together. So I hope you'll join me for a little bit of a daily soul renewing. Is that kind of mushy? I think that's kind of mushy, but do you know what I mean? Just a little bit of something to look forward to in my day to share with you. So normally on a Because Monday video, I would do a giveaway. So today's Monday, so that's not going to change. Last time I did a Monday video, the Because Monday giveaway that I had was a Lizzie Kate pattern. Now it says this was the Crazy Caption contest winner, Tammy Lurette, who submitted the phrase that Lizzie Kate turned into the pattern. And this is coming with the linen to stitch this chart. I did not pull the winner of this before I started recording because I managed to convince my son to go upstairs for half an hour. So what I'll do is when I'm editing this, I will choose the name and I will insert the winner right here. So congratulations. If you message me your address, I will get this out in the mail to you. In the spirit of worldwide friendship, the giveaway that I have to give away today was something that was sent to me by Teal. And if you make Flosstube videos or you hang out in the comment sections of YouTube Flosstube videos, you will know Teal quite well because she has such a beautifully unusual name. And she's just a lovely human. And she sent me, it was a funny story that I told a few weeks ago about how I had convinced her to buy this tea and she didn't like it. So not everybody's gonna like everything that you like, totally understandable, right? But she was very kind and she sent me the remainder of the box of the tea and included a couple of patterns in it. Now this one Little House Needleworks pattern I already own, and so I am going to offer up the one that Teal sent me for a giveaway. This Little House Needleworks, this is one of the Little Sheep Virtue, number 9, Friendship. So this is the chart that I will be sending out for today's giveaway. The way to enter this giveaway is over on the Facebook group, Friday Off the Grid, and you can enter over there. I will have a post up tonight after this video goes live, and you can just leave me a comment on that post in order to be entered in the giveaway for this. And that's the giveaway. Over the weekend, we had a little event happen. I guess you could call it an event. I don't know what else to call it. I sort of, you know, it always makes you feel, at least it makes me feel, distracted and happy when I'm sort of dreaming through my stash and thinking of new projects and starting new projects. I'm very much a process stitcher, and I know lots of you out there who are watching this aren't, but I am. I love starting new things. I've been trying lately over the last year to not start too many things because I like really big projects and they don't get finished, and I'm okay with that, but it is nice to have a finish once in a while. So I've been trying not to start too many things, but I thought, you know what? I think the times we're in right now call for a little extra comfort, a little extra, you know what I mean? And so I thought, okay, so let's start a hashtag self-care new start. And last Saturday, this Saturday just passed, a whole bunch of you joined in with me on starting something new. So I started 2 new things. I am also a knitter and sewist. There's some debate as to, I tend to call myself a sewist. Others told me I was wrong and told me I'm a seamstress. However, I consider myself a sewist instead of a seamstress. It's more of a newer term, and I don't make clothes. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. It's kind of like the debate. I'm a flute player as well. That's what my background is. I have a performance degree in flute, and people would always say, is it flautist or flutist? And I would say, I'm a flute player. You can call me whatever you want. So that's kind of how I feel about sewist, sewer, seamstress. Though you have to be careful when you spell sewer because it looks like sewer, not a sewer. Anyways, I started 2 new things. The first thing that I started was a new sock. I love knitting socks, and I've been working on a pair of big gray socks monogamously for my father-in-law. My father-in-law, side note on my father-in-law, because he is overseas at the moment, we have been in communication with him, and we have decided as a family that he will actually be staying put where he is until further notice. He has the ability to do that where he is. He's 82 years old, and we feel that where he is, it's a very small island, and it's fairly protected. He's happy. He's fairly isolated. I think his brother is with him now. So these two fellas are, you know, reading their books and reading in the newspaper and complaining about, you know, politics and things like that. I think, frankly, they're having the time of their lives. So instead of him traveling and dealing with airports and the stuff that's going on right now with air travel, we've just said, look, why don't you just cancel everything that's going on, and you know, you don't have to be back here for anything. Now, I wish he was here. I wish he was here with us, but frankly, he's probably better off where he is right now. So it gives me a little bit of breathing room with his socks, and we'll just have to FaceTime him a few extra times. Make sure he's not too lonely. So in honor of self-care new start, I started a new sock. It's just for me. I've shown this yarn before. This is Christmas yarn because I have always wanted a pair of Christmas socks. And so I have this Christmassy yarn. This is from a Canadian dyer called The Cozy Knitter, who specializes in making self-striping yarn. So it kind of looks funny in the cake, but look what happens when you knit it up. You get stripes. So I am going to have a Christmas sock, hopefully a pair, by the time Christmas rolls around. The heels and the toes will be done in this corresponding green, sparkly Stellina yarn. So, loving that. As you can see, going round and round and round on a sock, I find comforting. So I love that. That was my first new start. My second new start, oh, and I had so much fun choosing this. It was so fun. I have had this kitted up since last year. This is a Plum Street Samplers, Miss Bingley's Library. Many of you know this pattern already quite well. It's a beauty. I love this one. The phrase is, I shall be miserable if I have not an excellent library. And I have it loaded on my Q-snap here, so I'll just keep it. Then you can see. That's what I did over the weekend. So I started in the bottom left corner. Somebody asked me why I started with the words, because I think they had started in the middle. And sometimes I start in the bottom left, sometimes I start in the top left, but generally I love starting in the corner. Just a habit, just a preference, no real reason why. This one I started at the bottom left because it was easier to calculate where the letter started, instead of there was a bunch of open space in the top, at the top right, so that was just an easier place to start. So I am using a darker fabric than what is called for. What was called for was Liberty Gathering Gray by R&R Reproductions. Liberty Gathering Gray. I decided to go with something a little darker, and again, something that was in my stash. Everything was from stash. So this is a piece of 40 count linen from XJU Designs, and the color is light coffee. I gotta double check that, make sure I'm not leading you down the garden path. Yes, light coffee. So 40 count Zweigart Newcastle linen. There's now I was calling her Judith. Her name is Judith, but Jukis or Yukis is her nickname. And I did ask her because I wanted to make sure that I was calling her what she preferred to call, and she said, oh, you can call me either. Judith is her name, but Jukis is her nickname, and she said it's a little more casual, a little more friendly. So Yukis, XJU Designs. I think there's something going on with my autofocus, probably some button that I pushed by accident or something like that. So we're going with it today. I'm not sure how well the focus is going to be if I try to put it up close. And yes, the colorway is light coffee. So in case you really, really like that, this combination, let me just show you the other threads on top of here. I am using the called for weeks because that's what I kitted it up with at the time. Oh, and they're lush. Look at these colors. Look at those colors. Oh, they're so beautiful. They're so pretty. So, I think you can see that. If XJU Designs does not have any light coffee available on her site, she, I believe, is usually open to do custom orders. I ordered a piece of Rocky Mountain from her for something else. No problem. She had it out to me almost as fast as she would have had something that was already in her shop. Her customer service is excellent. She is from Hungary. I find her prices very reasonable. She offers free shipping over $50 US, I think. Anyways, she doesn't know that I'm saying any of this stuff. I'm certainly not sponsored by her or given anything for free. I just really like her fabric. Love it. So, and it smells so good. I always say that about her fabric, but it's the one thing that really strikes me is how good it smells. I said this was going to be short, didn't I? Not so short. I am predictable. I'm going to be in trouble if I try to do this every day. Okay, so that was my other new start. And I'm going to save the other things that I've been working on for tomorrow, because there was one other thing I wanted to talk about today, and it's not the retreat. It's not StitchNorth, even though we can talk about that lots and lots. It's gonna be so fun. I wanted to talk about some reading. I know, reading, right? Well, we're all finding ourselves with a little bit of extra time at home. And for those of you who have to go out, our first healthcare responders, retail workers who have to keep the shops open, be careful. We're thinking about you, and thank you. thank you, thank you. Your contribution is appreciated. So those of us who find ourselves being asked to stay at home and sit on our couch, I thought we could maybe do a little reading. This is a book that I've had on my shelf that I have been meaning to read for years and years and years. I am Canadian. I'm from London, Ontario, Canada, and Margaret Atwood is one of our beloved Canadian authors. And I have read a few of her books. I've read Oryx and Crake, and I've read The Handmaid's Tale. Actually, surprisingly, I've never watched the TV show. I've read the book. I struggle sometimes with television shows that are overly violent or too visual. But I really enjoy reading or listening to the audiobook version of the same thing. It's very odd with the, you know, what's the one everybody was watching? Game of Thrones. I couldn't watch it. I really couldn't watch it because I had read all of the books and I knew what was going to happen, and I found watching it, I found it really distressing. I have since gone back and I've watched the first season. I found once I got past the first, I couldn't watch the first few episodes again because they were particularly violent. And after that, so I don't know. It's just something with me. But I do love reading. I love a good murder mystery. But again, reading instead of visualizing it. Now, Alias Grace is, I don't know much about it because I've never read it, but it does sound like there is a bit of murder and mysterious things going on. So if that's not your cup of tea, then, you know, we'll read something different maybe next time. But I thought maybe it might be fun to add a little bit of reading. If you have this book or you're interested in joining along with me to read this book, I am terrible at leading book club discussions. Terrible, like really terrible. However, I have a very good friend who is incredible at leading book club discussions, and that would be Letitia, the Crafty curator, her very self. Now, this is just an idea I had 5 minutes before I sat down to record because I saw the book and I thought, oh, I really want to read that. And I thought, oh, maybe there are other crafters out there who want to read it with me. So I sent Letitia a message and I said, would you like to join in with this with me, this little adventure? Because she has a way of getting to the heart of the matter and discussing things in such a way that is both intelligent and interesting and fun. And so we'll see what Letitia says. Maybe she's already read this book, or maybe she has no interest in reading this book. And if she doesn't, then I'm just going to read it for fun. And if you want to read it along with me, that's great. I'm not English in school. I loved the reading part, but writing about the reading was never my strong suit, only because I just always wanted to get lost in the story and not, you know, pull it apart. But I found other people pulling it apart made me think about it differently. And I think there's great value in that. And I just find it interesting. Okay, so Alias Grace, that's what I'm going to start reading tonight. I have missed reading so much since stitching and knitting kind of took over my life. So that's what's on deck. Okay, so I'm at least 20 minutes here for my very first daily Crafty chat video. So basically, I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to do a video every day. And if I don't have one up by 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, chances are pretty good that I probably didn't have time that day to do a video. But let's just have some fun. There are a couple of people out right now at the moment who I know are also doing daily videos. One of them is beautiful Clareity, who is Claire from down in, is Claire in New York, Connecticut area, and also Abbibellastitch. Abbibellastitch has been doing March Madness, where she's been starting a new project every day, and I've been really enjoying her daily videos. So I know of those two stitchers who are putting out daily videos. If there's anyone else doing March Madness or a daily video, or if you feel like joining me in perhaps recording a short little video every day to sort of, you know, help boost morale and the mood. And you know, there are going to be a lot of people who are at home, who, you know, for whatever reasons can't get out, self-isolation, illness, you name it. And sometimes just being a bright spark in somebody's day is reward enough in itself for you, because I derive a lot of pleasure from doing these videos. So just a heads up, I know there are many of you who do not enjoy daily videos, so you might want to give my channel a pass for the next, I don't know, we'll just take this as it comes. I will always strive to be positive. I will always strive to not talk too much about news and things like that that are going on, because we all get enough of that bombarded from every aspect of everything else that's going on right now. So I'm going to keep this little spot for me and for you, just a few minutes of take a breath, and then we can all go back to the real world. So, as it were. All right, that's it for me today. I'm gonna go and tell Nicholas that he can come back downstairs. He's been asking. That kid is gonna eat me out of house and home, honestly. I made him a huge sandwich for lunch, and 10 minutes later he says, I'm hungry. Is there a snack? Can I have a snack now? I said, you've got to be joking. He's almost 12 years old, and he is almost as tall as Sarah. She has about an inch on him, and he is growing like a weed, and it's so fun. It's so fun because everybody warns you. They all warn you about boys and how much they eat when they hit that certain age, and then for about, what, 3 or 4 years? Longer? I don't know. But I think it's been ramping up for the last couple of years, but I think he's just hitting his stride, and I think that kid could eat all day long if I let him. He also has a sweet tooth, so he's always looking for chocolate. Gets that from his mother. I'm gonna have to, doing these videos, this is another, see, I told you I was done, and here I am. I think I've gone on for 2 or 3 more minutes. I have had to be careful to not buy too much chocolate, too many chocolates or sweets or anything like that. We've got some snacks for the kids and stuff, but in times like this, stress eating, I need to shut that down, or I'm gonna need to do a whole lot of gym activity when life returns back to the new normal. Okay, that's it for me, for real this time. It is 2:15, and I'm gonna get this video up, and then I think I'm gonna knit a row with a cup of coffee and get back to work. I've got some more sewing to do this afternoon. So I will see you tomorrow.